Okay.
So you absolutely do, no questions. I can go through and I tell a story, basically. If I go back to the very beginning, did I ever really realize that I had what you call, because this is in your lines, this unique and fantastic instrument? That's what you say. You know,
yes.
we're very, we can judge this for ourselves as artists and as human beings, because it would totally lack humility, and I think it would also lack perception of what we have, because we can never be too close of that. We need to feel it's just an extraordinary chance. I have immense gratitude for these things. And so when I first realized I could use my voice, what really captured my attention was not the uniqueness or if it was good or bad, but it could trigger emotions. It could trigger emotions inside of me, and it could trigger emotions around me. And that is probably when I first realized something special was happening. And I was 5 years old. So I really remember that moment. I was in the car with my dad, and he was listening to classical music, and I repeated the lines that this extraordinary soprano was singing. And I remember I really said, you know, Daddy, I am a singer. And he said, no, you can't say that. You don't say you are. You say you wish to become. And from that point on, I started this journey, because I never really let go of that dream. You know, when you're 5 years old, sometimes you want to be a doctor, so when you want to be a florist, you want to be a dancer. I wanted to be a singer. Actually, I didn't want to be. I am. And it's true. And it's not something that makes me special. It's something that I have to live with, because I couldn't go away from that. You know, it's my condition, it's my genes, it's in my DNA. So what music have I listened to early on? I've listened a lot to classical music with my mom and dad, but the first voice I heard that totally turned my soul upside down is Barbra Streisand. So she's my inspiration. She is my mentor in many ways. I've had the extraordinary luck to meet her, to have her sing one of my songs that I wrote called Broken Vow. It was amazing when someday someone you worship to that point calls you up and says, by the way, I'd like to sing a song you wrote. It's as if two universes collided, you know, and came together.
Did you ever discuss doing a duet album?
No, never. But she's a very independent soul, and she just loved Broken Vow, and she just performed it. You know, I sent her the charts.
Cool.
But that was
Excellent.
Awesome, I have to say. So at what point do you think you have a breakthrough? Every artist has a hit, an alignment of star, a big success, and then, you know, in the name of the rest. So it happened for the first time, which I mean was a real big breakthrough. It was the 6th of June 1997 with a record called Pure. And that, for some reason, took me by storm. I had worked for almost 9 years before that without having, I had little results, but it was not this big thing where you sell millions of records and you feel theaters, you know. So that is a breakthrough with a song called Tout in French.
Oh yeah.
A number of artists that I've had the chance to perform with.
One standing out.
Well, I've had great opportunities to perform with Johnny Halliday, Michel Sardou, Luther Vandross. I was on a stage in New York as well with many great artists, and not only just to sing with them, just to be around them. I remember Miracle on 42nd Street in New York. You had people like Beyonce, Michael Jackson, L.A. Reid. It was just Eric Bennett. I mean, voices made by God, and you know, it's not. These artists are not just good artists. There's something whistles through them. Something is a state of grace, you know. So yes, I was lucky enough to perform with these people, and I drew a lot of happiness out of that, and it makes you better. Basically, you know, when you sing with someone that is really good, you sing better. It's like when you speak a language with someone who really masters it, and it's not especially the language you speak better. It's the same thing. How would I describe the maturation of my voice through the years? Well, I'm aging, man. What can I say? I'm growing old, and
No.
but what I mean is that maybe it spreads a bit more. I feel I can hit lower notes much more, and I still can hit my very high notes as well. So it's as if it thickens. I work on my voice mostly every day, you know, not to say every day. I do. It's a classical technique I've been using for 20 years now. So it's a muscle, you know, sometimes you also have to have the sense of relativity. What is that? It's a muscle, and you have to work on it, like a violinist plays instruments. The only difference, we have the instrument inside our body, and we have the responsibility to really cherish it and work on it. So that's what happened. Through the years you work more and more and more, not to lose the elasticity. What do I feel are the best ways to treat such a delicate system? Shut up. If I shut up, I'm fine. Really. And classical training and silence. Where do you feel most at home? Studio and both. I love both. It's different feelings. I love being in studio is being in a closer world of your intimacy. And closer to your intimacy. Knowing that what you're going to print is really, it's got to be the truest emotion. It's got to be really honest, you know, because it's going to stay there forever. A concert, it's like driving a car at 300 kilometers an hour. So you have to go. You have to put your belt on, you know, you have to give it out. And even if it's imperfect, sometimes not everything is perfect when you're in concert, but it's okay. What's perfect is the communication.
So you ever got a speed ticket?
Speed ticket.
Actually, we need to go in 1 minute, so if you have the last question...
Yeah, well,
Let me just go through, I'm go through.
I took away half of them before I got here.
Some writing, you can sing in melody. Some voice from those languages are not natural, some different. What you feel becomes a video, feeling your voice is speaking, also have highly likable qualities. Maybe so fun. Go from here. Where do I go from here? That's a nice question. I'm on this of the road. Well, where do I go from here? What kind of sense of humour do I have? The qualities in a person are required to make you interested romantically.
And now you're married, so you can skip that one. We didn't know that because...
I am married.
Yeah.
Where do I go from here? It's a very interesting question. Because you never count time as being a granted thing to you as an artist. You take every moment as a gift and as an opportunity to create the next moment. So I'm a pretty carpe diem believer. So from here I go to the next moment with the same joy, always remembering why I do this. And my next challenge is to never lose enthusiasm, enjoy whatever I do. So where do I go from here? Let me tell you next time.
Be good.
Good.
Thank you. Would it be possible to have my two CD sleeves signed? Thank you so much for this time. Thank you. Yeah, it's fantastic.